Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth. I have created this tutorial as a sample tutorial for the create your own tutorial lesson. And so I'm going to just go over this as if I were a student to help give you an example of what a tutorial using Microsoft PowerPoint looks like. All right, so Subsistence Fishing in Bristol Bay by Elizabeth Ingeson. So, subsistence fishing is a way of life in Bristol Bay. Many families rely on the fish caught during the summer months and sometimes the winter to help feed their families all throughout the year. Sometimes people will use boats such as this to go out fishing during the summer, and boats can collect fish through processes such as drifting, set netting, or seining. They often use these methods to commercial fish as well. So most families will put out a net on the beach. This is the method that my family uses. And so first, before you can really catch any fish in your net, you have to mend the net. So nets are set out on the beach, and as you can see, you have to use a string to help mend any holes that are in the net. When the tide comes in, the fish get caught in the net. And the way that works is through something called a cork line and a lead line. In this picture, you can see the corks on the cork line. So the corks will hold up one side of the net, while these weights called the lead line cause the other end of the net to sink. And so the net stands up in the water kind of like a wall, and as the fish swim through, if they're the right size, they'll get caught. When the tide goes down, then you're able to come to the beach and pick your net and take your fish home. Once you have your fish home, you have to soak them in some water to get out the rigor mortis, and then you can head and gut it. So in the picture on the left, you can see fish that has been headed and gutted, and so you then have to take out the salmon roe, and that's what's on the left. And those are just the eggs. Some people throw them away, but some people like to cure them and use them as food or use them as fishing tackle or fishing bait. And then next, a lot of people will smoke and dry their fish. So fish strips are dried and smoked in different ways. The methodology is unique to the region or the family or village, and as you can see here, these strips are drying in an open air drying rack. So it's not an enclosed building, it's just a roof with some beams in it that the fish is hanging from. These are salmon strips, and strips are cut from fillets. They're marinated in a saltwater brine, and then they're hung up to dry and smoke as a means of preservation. My family does the strip process in a one building situation where they're both dried and smoked in one building, and so the smokehouse has a ventilation system that allows the fish to dry on sunny days, and then on rainy days it will be all closed up, and then they will smoke it. And so like I said, every family, every region kind of does it a little differently. And then here's some brine in the 5-gallon bucket. You can see this kind of brownish brine. And strips are first dipped into a saltwater marinade, or brine as it's called. And from what I've been told, you have to add enough salt to the water in order to make a potato float. And so you just dunk those in and give them a good little bath, and then you can hang them up. And as you can see in the picture right behind, there's some strips in the smokehouse already. Canned salmon. So canning is another preservation method, and this will allow the salmon to last several months or even a couple of years in the cans, so long as your seal stays shut. And then you'll have ready-to-eat salmon. It's already cooked. Other fish to gather, such as smelt. So in the winter and early spring, you can drill holes with an auger into the sea ice to go ice fishing. And smelts can be dried similarly to other fish, or you can also just fry them up and eat them fresh. And here you see a salmon head. Occasionally, heads and guts are left on the beach for other animals to eat, but some towns actually have receptacles so that wild animals, such as especially bears, aren't drawn to the area. And that is it.